everybody. How's it going? How is my sound? Get a little microphone check. Friday night, just got paid. Party hunter. Absolute mad tunes going on, says Harry Moody Reactions. That's a reaction I can get behind. Thanks. Someone wasn't digging the music yesterday, so I switched it up today. It's all still Cam stuff, though, so all credit to Cam for his great music that he writes for me. Operation Life says we sound great. Cool. So I made a couple slight tweaks from yesterday. As I said I would, because I'm on this 4 or 5 day kick of what if I just do whatever my crazy mind tells me to, and see where that takes me. How can I grow my audience, help people, maybe build a business, whatever. And so a couple things that came out of the last live stream was one that my chat hasn't worked great in a while, and here's my confession. For chat, I had been using Internet Explorer. Can you believe that? So I finally got off my butt and switched my chat over to Chrome. So as frequent viewers of the live streams probably know I use Firefox for my primary browser. And so, yeah, hopefully my chat will be a little bit better using Chrome now. So there's that. The other thing was that I was talking about Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference, and I said I'd put an affiliate link in the description, and so I have. So that's a new addition to the description down below. Also, there's another product that I'm sort of endorsing that I'm really enjoying right now called PlaceIt, and so there's also a link down for that with a 15% discount using that link, which it's really quite great. They've got a bunch of pre-rendered templates for animations. You want an intro, you want an end screen, something like that. But then you can go in and upload your old images, change the text, and then re-render and download it. And it's awesome. I've been using it on both my channels. And so those are some of the tweaks since yesterday, in case anyone cares. So yeah, Harry Moody Reactions is first to speak up in chat. Blazing Games is here. Fred Tam says hi. Operation Life says, "What's up, everyone?" I'm holding my mug backwards. I gotta get that product placement in there for my other channel, Vacation Impossible. I'm not ready to be on American Idol, where they always have the Coke and the logo is facing perfectly away from them. That's a tasty water. So let's see, what do we got here? Brickworld Therapy says, sorry, had issues last night and had to get that in. Right, I think you wanted a channel review or something, and so I suspect that's what you're referring to there. So yeah, you spoke up nice and early. Hopefully we can get you something. Blazing Game says, what's up? Or Operation Life says, what's up? It's Friday. And like that Johnny Kemp song, just got paid, which is nice. It's interesting. I did some consultation work yesterday, and that money went through into my bank account today. And so I've noticed that over the last little while, PayPal payments, they used to take 3 to 5 business days, but lately it's been 2 business days or less to get into my bank account. So that's kind of nice. Not a huge chunk of change, but still it's my first time being paid to do that kind of consultation, and that was a hoot. So that's always fun. Let's see. Isotope says, missed yesterday's stream because I was asleep. Well, that is exactly why I'm doing this right now. Yesterday was a little bit later because of that consultation call that I was on that went for 2 hours right around this time of day yesterday. And so today I very intentionally tried to start a little earlier so that people in different time zones and different schedules have a fair crack at this. Full disclosure, I repeat myself a lot, so having a slightly different audience might not be a bad thing. So yeah, there we go. Please ignore the new Star Wars build. I don't think the numbers are right, but please review it, Ray. I presume you're referring to your channel. Mad tunes going on. Howdy, y'all. Yeah, the music was good. That's great. Sounds great. Like the music. You can hear more of that music over on Vacation Impossible. We use that stuff all the time. Gotta get the plug in. Let's see. Can you customize it enough that it doesn't seem like a generic intro? That's a fair question. Let me bring up one that I can show you. And don't worry, Brickworld, I haven't forgotten about you. I always struggle with keeping up with chat on these, and so that's a little tricky. But here, a recent video I put out that uses it. Did I put the end card on this? You know what? I'm not even sure. I don't remember. I forgot to put the end screen on. Oh my god. Hey, who wants a quick tutorial on end screens? Anyway, so this is the one that I made here. Let me just wind that back a bit. Wind it back. No, come on, seriously. All the way back. Okay, this is the end of the video here. Blah, blah, blah. And then this is the end screen. I'm using it at 50% speed because I wanted it to last the full 20 seconds of the end screen, but I think it defaults to 10 seconds. But this is pretty basic, pretty easy. So that picture of the glaciers in Alaska there, that's mine. And then I customized the text, although honestly I actually just kind of left it at the default for that template, but that's that. But look at that, I forgot to put my end screen. So let's really quickly go put an end screen on this. I've been doing a lot these days. Okay, videos. Quick end screen tutorial here. So you can, I'm just going to do it in the studio beta because I need to get used to it. So when you're in your video editing, there's the end screen option on the right hand side. You just click on that. And one thing that's absolutely lovely is you can, I don't know if this is a TubeBuddy thing or a default YouTube thing, because I always have my TubeBuddy with me, but I can just import from the last video. And since I'm using that template consistently, all I got to do is click here. It's got the positioning and the video choice and everything just right. I click save and Bob's your uncle. There we go, Uncle Bob. How's that? All right. Let me just quickly take a gander at chat and see what's what. Please smash that like button. Hell yeah, the long way home. Please do. So yeah, the question was, can you customize it enough that it doesn't look like a generic intro? Oh, that wasn't the intro. Right, I was showing you the end screen. So I mean, it depends on what you want to go for. I can show you the intro that I used. I didn't... well, actually, yeah, I'll show you a couple really quickly here. Why not? I used it on the emoji picker video here on this channel. So I start off by talking. I'm like, oh, this is a stupid thing to care about. I am silly. Please stick with us. And then we crash. There we go. Intro. Crash intro right there. That was literally the first template they had. I did nothing to it but change the words and highlighted some red colors on it because of the whole YouTube and the psychology of colors. Red is energetic and excitement, and I thought, okay, I'll interject a little bit of that. But that's the intro. That was literally the first template I saw. So I haven't played around with the intros very much, but I plan to. So in subsequent videos that I plan to release on this channel particularly, I'm going to experiment with it a fair bit. I can show you one more quick one here that it's sort of an intro, but it's sort of like a animated slideshow thing, and it's on this video here that I made. And so this is from PlaceIt as well, not the ad. Oh, I missed my premium. Here we go. This, what you're seeing right now, this was a template that I adjusted and tweaked. Used my background image here. Those seats on that plane is my picture. And then I just go into the video from there. And then in the video, I think, yeah, about here, I also use it again, but differently, because here I make like a little list, and then again, that's my picture there, but the animation behind it is all using PlaceIt's templates. So, yeah, I showed that to some people who know my channel well, who have been on my channel and are difficult to impress, and they were suitably impressed. So, yeah, that was a tough crowd, and so it won them over. So, yeah, PlaceIt. It's pretty good. Relatively reasonably priced, too. Hope everyone is well and safe. Same here. What kind of consulting do you do? Yeah, well, this was a whole new thing for me because, I mean, I do these live streams and stuff. And so, basically, someone had reached out and asked if they could hire me for a couple of hours to basically show them YouTube. And so they were starting from a very introductory place. So it was straight up like they needed to know the lingo, like what is a thumbnail. But from like the 2 hours that I spent with them, I took them from what's a thumbnail to here's keyword alignment and how you optimize your video. And I had them rocking on TubeBuddy. I had them ranking on terms with their one video. And so in just 2 hours, and I'd never done this before, I didn't have a plan. I didn't go in with a real plan. I mean, I thought about it because it was like a day lag between when we came to an agreement on the terms to actually doing it. But no, it was like super productive. And we've got another 2 hours planned for tomorrow that I'm going to be doing. And honestly, I'm thinking like after that 4 hours, I can probably turn them loose into the world. I'll give them the training, the skills, the knowledge and stuff that they need to know. And I'll walk them through how to use TubeBuddy and some other things. And TubeBuddy blew her mind. It was amazing. She was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so much easier now. Thank you so much. But I think, yeah, like 4 hours is probably going to be plenty. Like I can even show her like a lot of thumbnail and editing techniques and all sorts of stuff. So I was able to cram quite a bit into a short period of time, and that was fun for me. And so I'm like, I would like to do more of that. That was cool. Hey, can I get YouTube to allow comments on my video with my little nephew? If it's with kids, probably not. That's a COPA thing. Well, it's not really. It's partly a COPA thing. I don't want to dive into that. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. Brickworld's on it. Brickworld will explain for you. Brickworld's got this. All right. Vague set of rules. Raid's beard. Yeah, I trimmed it for length again, and you know, a little defining, but nothing too much. Don't worry. I know you like the beard. So cool. All right. So let's get back here. I owe Brickworld Therapy, I believe, a channel review from yesterday. I was well knackered because I did that 2-hour consultation. Then I did the 2-hour live stream, and the request didn't kind of bubble to the surface of my attention until the end of that. And I had also gotten out a video and on Vacation Impossible and you know, things around the house. So it was a busy day, but I'm back. I'm relatively fresh. I'm hoping to go for about 2 hours today, full disclosure. And then we got 3 more days. Today's Friday. I'm also going to do Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is the plan, assuming that life does not get in the way. And so far, we've been doing fairly well, so that's nice. Just quickly checking that the world's not burning down any more than it was before. No? Okay, cool. So Brickworld Therapy, I searched it, came up first right away. I really like the name because I think that, 90% chance it's Lego, 10% chance it's bricklaying, I think. And so it's fairly descriptive, and it's unique, and so I like that. And so looking at the logo, you've got some nice color there. I think that, yeah, there's a little bit of a challenge with the font, just because it's a little small. The real challenge of your profile picture on YouTube is that you have such a small amount of space to work with, and it's often viewed so incredibly small and shrunk down. Like in the chat, you guys in the chat, you can see, like, I can see there's a bit of a rainbow hint line of text, and that's all I could tell in chat. So anything you can do to make any text really easy to read and as large as possible. So what I would suggest for this is I would consider putting brick and world on separate lines so that hopefully you can then increase the font size and make that a little bit easier to read. In terms of the font, I get that you're going for a Lego thing and it comes across fairly well. My only concern is at the beginning, the B and the R is a little they're rather similar, and I mean that's probably a limitation of basically pixel art is what this is. So I sympathize with that. I'm not sure if there's much that can be done to make that better. One thing that I notice is you do have sort of this kind of cool color thing going through, but the B and the R are somewhat similar colors and also somewhat similar shapes. So one thing that I might consider possibly is making maybe the B white, because that's one color that I see not represented you know, in the color scheme here. There's also brown, but brown might be a little too dark against the black. I'm not sure. You can play around with it a little, but it is tricky, that pixel art, because the B kind of looks like an E looking on its own. You know, and so that's yeah. I mean, that's probably a challenge you're familiar with, being experienced with Lego, if you were using Lego to make words. So I leave it to you and your community, because I know the Lego community is amazing and large, that maybe they might have a solution, or maybe that's just the cost of doing business. It's a minor thing, really, and also just by putting it on 3 separate lines and making the font as big as possible might address that. That might take care of it for you. But that's pretty good. So looking at the description here, says U.S. Coast Guard veteran diagnosed with PTSD and on a journey of self-healing through Lego brick therapy. Welcome to my, and then it goes on from there. I have a lot to say about this, and honestly, none of it's going to be helpful, really, because it's so well written. You've got a really solid opening here. First off, I just want to say thank you for your service. I think that the U.S. Coast Guard does some amazing things. I've seen them in action before on my various cruises. I have seen them rescue migrants off of a sinking raft, and there's a video on my channel you can watch if you want about that. And the reason I have that out there is so that other people can see the good work that they do. It's professional, it's heroic, and nothing but respect. My best friend and my brother both served in different branches and in different countries, but you know, as a result, people who serve, I kind of got a special place for them in my heart. So just want to say thank you for your service there, and I'm sorry to hear about the PTSD. But I think it's so fantastic that you're finding a way of moving forward in a positive self-healing way, and that you're sharing that journey where it could benefit other people, and other people in all sorts, I would think, of different swaths of life. It could be somebody dealing with a childhood trauma. It could just be somebody who's got social anxiety. I would imagine that this kind of therapy, I suppose really is the word, it could probably help so many people deal with so many different things. Because I'm talking out my behind here. You obviously know this better than I do, but just thinking about how I would imagine it's a calm thing to do. There's not a whole lot of surprises unless something collapses on you, I guess. But it's like you make a plan, you implement it slowly over time, you see the fruits of your labor. You probably listen to calming music or something. It could even be, if you're on a very large build that's repetitive, it might have like almost a meditative feel to it. I think all of those sorts of things could be great. And why did I just talk to you about something you know better than me? The reason is I'm hoping that maybe some of that might have, I don't know if you're struggling for video ideas, but those things I was just talking about might make excellent video ideas that really could help people and serve a very nice niche out there. I think potentially a large one, actually. And if my assumptions were incorrect, you could make a video correcting them. But I think that, and maybe you've already done these things, I don't know, but I think that a video that very clearly outlines the benefits of it, or a series of videos, just each one focusing on a different specific benefit or positive thing about it, I think would be great. So honestly, when it comes to this channel description, I have two thoughts. One is PTSD is an acronym and therefore should... actually, acronym's not the right word. It's I forget what they call it. Anyways, PTSD should be all caps. It should be all capitalized. It looks unusual seeing it not, and so that's just it's a tiny little thing, but it's a 2-second fix. So I think that you should do that. Also, where it says "Welcome to my," I generally pounce on people for that. They generally put it at the beginning. Thankfully, you have it, and that's fantastic. But the welcome to my doesn't add much to it, and it's a great opportunity because we've identified that you've got these characters here right before that cutoff. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Welcome to the Rate Counting Show. You got 14 characters, it looks like there, including the spaces, before the 3 dots appear. So what else could you put there that would entice someone? Welcome to my, I don't think is enticing. And I'm trying to think of something you could do in so few characters, and that's a little hard, I admit. But if you can think of something that would make someone curious and entice them to click to know more and read more, it's I'm not sure what you could do in such a small space, but if you could come up with something, that would be great. And if not, like I said, that first sentence is super solid. Capitalized PTSD, Bob's your uncle. It's fantastic. It's great. 32 subscribers and 9 videos. So I'm just noticing that now. So with only 9 videos, I imagine you probably haven't covered those things I was talking about. So you might have a back catalog of a million great ideas for videos. But if you find yourself looking for something, there's just some thoughts that I had. Further, looking at my TubeBuddy Search Explorer, that's the browser plugin. If y'all are watching and don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link down below. Go get the free browser plugin and you can get this kind of information too. And so the search volume is low, but the competition is similarly low. And so the combination there is coming up with a good score of 45. And so I think your name is fantastic. Don't ever change that name unless someone sues you and forces you to, because that is a great name. I love that name. It's descriptive and I think it's evocative of both the imagination and the curiosity. So those are great. So let's dive in here and see what we can do for you, because with this kind of subject matter, I'd like to think. Actually, I've got an early question. How old is this channel? Okay, so from November of last year. So it's a fairly young channel. And that's good because I think that it should be going, I think there's nothing but potential here. And I just see this beginning of your trailer of the Lego bricks falling. That is awesome. That's great. I love that. So looking here, yeah, I think that there is, there's a lot that I like about the banner. And there's a couple of things that I would change a little bit. You've got the social icons here, and if you've watched my previous live streams, you probably know where I'm going here. They're not clickable. This tells me you're on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, but over here on the right, it tells me you're on Facebook. You got a Facebook group, some other Facebook thing. I'll guess that that's a page. Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. However, these ones over here are clickable and can drive traffic to those places. And if you want more followers on those platforms, or if maybe you found a way to monetize something there, or assuming that's even something you care about, I don't know, why would you have the ones that you can click on competing with the ones that you can't? So I would remove the icons, and I think that would make for a slightly more consistent image. And I would consider spacing out Brick World maybe just a little bit, because it's a little hard to read as it stands right now. So I'm thinking if there's a little bit more space between each letter, I think that might make it a little easier to read. Or maybe just playing around with this like outline drop shadow effect that you've got going on. It looks cool, but it's not super legible. So that's just something to think about. But by and large, like the incorporation of the bricks, like the top of the bricks, the Lego bricks here, and then that nice shot of them in the background there, I think that's a really nice effect. I like that. The background image looks a little bit grainy. That may or may not be intentional. But the premise of it and the shot itself is great. If it was just a little crisper, a little bit more in focus, but it is kind of the background. So I'm kind of torn. I think it's kind of fine the way it is. Those are just some initial thoughts. Going through your channel here, you've got featured channels, which is great. You've got the Lego channel down there. You're clearly referencing stop motion animation of some kind, a couple other brick Lego channels. That is fantastic. And you've got your uploads here. So you had, what, like 9 videos, I think. Well, let's go jump onto your playlists. Okay, you've got playlists. That is awesome. So you got Lego Star Wars builds, all Lego builds, and Harry Potter builds. Awesome. This is nicely organized. I like it. And okay, so I am seeing here that your videos are really about builds, because you have 9 videos. All 9 of those videos are clearly in this playlist here, assuming they're all yours. So you're focusing on the builds, and that's fine as, I think, one stream of content. But remember, there's a reason that YouTube calls these things of ours that we have, that we've built, that we love, channels. They don't call them profiles or pages. And I think that there's an intentional reason behind that. And I think it's because it is to some degree mirror television. And back in my day, a channel had a multitude of shows on it. And yes, okay, we always talk about niche down, right? But having some variation a little bit is not necessarily a bad thing, because it gives people different things to binge. So, like, I'm a big fan of Pat Contry. He has his Pat the NES Punk series. He's got his podcast. He's got his Ask Frank. He's got his, Flea Market Madness. And so, okay, maybe if he had gone hard on just one of those, he could have dominated. He said it himself many times. I've talked to him about this. If he just did the flea market videos and nothing but, and put one out every week, he would have 1 million subscribers. But that's not what he wants to do with his life. And that came along later. He got notoriety as Pat the NES Punk, his scripted comedic retro reviews, which I love and wish he did more of. But he doesn't make a profit really on it very well, and so that has to be kind of a loss leader. It's a whole thing, and it's just a shame. It's algorithm stuff. But let's put him aside for a second. The point is that having a couple of different things is maybe not the worst idea within that narrow niche of Lego. And so specifically, the name that you have has therapy in it, your personal history, your story, and what your journey that you're going on is somewhat around that. Now, I'm not sure how much of that you necessarily want to share, but you created a YouTube channel, so presumably some of it. And so I think that talking about that aspect of it, having videos dedicated to that aspect of it, that might be your competitive advantage. In fact, I want to do a thing right now. I want to get away from your channel for just a second. Don't worry, I will come back. I just want to search what comes up if you come up Lego therapy. Just kind of glance here. It's a fair keyword, not wonderful. How Lego therapy can be a massive win for kids with autism. Lego-based therapy for autism. So, children communicate. So what I'm seeing here, and this is just me thinking off the top of my head, but what I'm seeing here is a real focus on children. And I understand that Lego begins as a, you know, a child's toy, and that was sort of initially how it was marketed. But I know people who like build Lego and go to conventions to present their builds. So like I know that this is a serious thing, and like some of that, and I've been to places, not a Lego convention, but I've been to other conventions that had a Lego section. Um, I think Comic-Con had a Lego section. Was there anything at Gen Con? Maybe not. I think, yeah, it must have been Comic-Con that I saw some really, really impressive stuff. And it was just in one kind of room off of the main area. But I think that's probably where I was. And of course, there's the odd like science center that might have something. But this stuff is truly impressive. And so it's interesting that it seems to be oversampling the impact with children. And hey, I'm all for it helping people, but it seems like your message is underrepresented here. And so maybe that means that yours is a little bit unique, but let's take it one step further. PTSD. See what comes up. Well, look at that. Look at that. We're getting a good score on TUBEBUDDY, 45 out of 100, not bad, but look at what's happening here. The results that we are getting have nothing to do with Lego. This is a huge opportunity. I hope you're watching. I mean, and again, it depends on your goals. You know, maybe you don't care about monetization, but you would like an audience. Maybe you don't care about either of those things, but you're here, so I imagine you care at least about probably one of them, and it's probably finding that audience. And so if someone was to search Lego therapy PTSD, there's nothing. And then we get down here and look, some of those other videos. Why aren't you coming up? Brickworld Therapy down here. Okay, let's see. How many page downs to get to you? New keyboard. Who dis? 1. Okay, there we are here. Now I just want to watch that preview. That's awesome. Your shots are great. That shot is done so well. Yeah, no, I'm putting you in the category with Stupid Robot Fighting League where I am angry that more people aren't subscribed to you now. Because it looks like what you're doing is incredibly professional. It's got a great story behind it. It's moral. We got to get you an audience. This has to happen. All right. So, it looks like in this Venn diagram of PTSD therapy and Lego, it looks like you're the player. You're the man. Presumably the man. I don't know. They look like... I gotta stop saying gendered things. Yeah, I don't know. They look like man hands. Getting off topic. Oh, and hey, you're using Epidemic Sound. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I'm thinking... If I search... You know what? I'm jumping around a little bit here, but this channel is nothing but potential. I think that if you make some small tweaks, and you're already doing so well, but by continuing at it and with some small tweaks, you're going to be coming back, hopefully, to a future live stream and being like, man, I just hit 1,000 subscribers. I just hit a couple thousand subscribers. With what you're doing, you could blow past me in the subscriber count, I think, quickly. I think you already got one more subscriber because we started, I think, at 32. Now you're at 33. I am very much looking forward to watching this channel blow up. There's no reason that it shouldn't. So let's start off with Channelytics. Okay, here we go. So you got a lot of channel tags. PTSD break therapy. PTSD Lego therapy. Interesting. It didn't really come up that early. But that's fine. Okay, your tag game is solid. I've got little to say about that. Oh, it looks like you've experienced some real growth just recently. What is this? It looks like you were flatlining for a while, and then you got like 4,000 in a day? What's your total view count? Okay, there's something hinky there. I think it's giving all your channel views on like one day because maybe something was private previously or some such, but okay. This is cool. This is really exciting for me because I love it. I love it when somebody like you or Stupid Robot Fighting League or Ace of Vegas comes along and they've got an original niche that they can own and that they're doing very well. This is exciting. I love this. Okay, we gotta punch this up. We gotta get you more stuff. Okay, so I went on a bit of a journey there, but I think we found some things to be excited about, which is great. Okay, so onto your playlists. Here's the thing. So you've got these three. One is Star Wars, one is Lego writ large, and the other one is Harry Potter specifically. So the Star Wars one has 3 videos in it, and the Harry Potter one has 2. So those are not yet ready for your homepage. They're not ready for prime time. But the Lego Builds one is. Might seem a little redundant, but we want to fill out this channel. If somebody comes here, and given some of the issues that we're talking about, some of this is heavy stuff. We're going to want to look real professional and fully flushed out. So it's going to look repetitive, but what I really recommend is you put your All Lego Builds playlist underneath your uploads, and then you put your top videos playlist underneath that. The way you do that is on this screen, there should be a blue button that'll say Customize Channel. You scroll to the bottom and there'll be a plus. You hit plus, and then you go single playlist horizontal row, and then you just pick your All Builds. And then you do it again, except this time you choose popular uploads, and it will put them in order of how many views they have. The most views will be at the front. As different videos get more views, it automatically resorts itself. That is a one-time set it and forget it thing. And so at least then there's more things that people can click on, because you'll notice that I can scroll, and it looks like there's room for 2 more, right? I mean, you can add tons and tons, but this is the natural scrolling field available to somebody on a channel. So if you don't have at least 3 lines here, it doesn't feel completely created, because there's this giant wasted space at the bottom. So that's what I would do for now. And then as you create more videos, as these playlists grow, when Lego Star Wars and Harry Potter both get 6 or more videos in those playlists, I want you to take out the All Lego Builds and swap it out for those 2 playlists. Because that, I think, would be a really nice layout, because, I mean, those 2 franchises are hugely popular as well. That's something that's a good, what do they call it? Maybe not the best term to use now, but infection vector. In tabletop gaming, that's often what they say, like, oh, get them to play Zombie Dice or Roll For It, or the big one is Ticket to Ride, because if you want to get somebody addicted to, like, tabletop gaming, those are the games you want to have them get hooked on. And I think a lot of these licenses and these IPs, you know, you start with Lego, and then you start with Harry Potter, and then maybe you get into, like, the more basic system stuff, and then the creativity really comes in. But I think the gateway, you're focusing on a couple really good things right now, I think, to get people into it, which is fantastic. I'm tanking your watch time on your trailer here because I keep going back. Sorry about that. But you're getting some views, assuming they count. There's questions about that. So that's cool. You know what? I'm going to dive into this. I want to take a look at this, because I really want this channel to succeed. And this is not a criticism, but it should be doing better than it is. So let's make that happen. Let's see here. Okay. I think I'm seeing one big opportunity. Okay, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. Yeah, okay. Lego photography. That makes sense as a hashtag. So your description needs to be fleshed out. You've got one relatively short sentence here. And so it should be more like 3 or 4 lines as a bare minimum. The fact that when I'm on your, and when you're writing it, try to work these phrases in. You know, not a lot of people know that Lego can be an amazing anxiety relief and stress therapy tool. Something like that. Put that sentence in there. And now you've got anxiety relief tool and sense therapy tool. Those words will also be in your description. So it'll increase the likelihood that you'll rank on those search terms, for example, because you've already done a lot of the hard work. You've identified, however you've done it, maybe with TubeBuddy or looking at other people or just coming up with it. You've done the hard work of figuring out some really important keywords that you want to target. So now we need to start working those into the description as organic sounding, easy to read sentences. You can't just keyword pack in the description. You get in trouble for that. But you can do sentences. Then it is good for the viewer. They have something to read, and also good for the algorithm because it has data to crunch. So that's a double win. So yeah, you definitely are going to want to punch up your descriptions. There are people out there who write entire blog posts as part of their description, and that does exceptionally well for them. I've seen them do nothing but that, and not even do tags and other things, and actually do fairly well, just because the description had so much content in it that the algorithm was able to chew on. So that's good. I see here that you've tweeted it, but I'm not seeing it on Reddit. Yeah. Not seeing it having been shared on Reddit. Reddit can be a scary place, I freely admit, but I got to imagine there's giant communities for this out there. And even if there's not, I've created a subreddit that you can go play in and share in. And it is Small YouTubers Boost. Same basic rules as the Facebook group. So if you go there, then you can practice sharing it. See how it looks when you share it from the share button here. See what it looks, how it looks if you copy your URL and go post it. If you post it as a link or as text that contains a link, go and play in that safe space until you're comfortable, and then maybe see what communities out there you can find that have rule sets that would allow appropriate sharing of this. And then you could find an additional audience there. I'm also seeing, now admittedly that's kind of cool, I like that. This is your channel trailer, it's 26 seconds, so it's fairly short. TubeBuddy's it's showing that there's no info cards. I think they fixed that, I think that's accurate again. So still, you're gonna wanna go in and add, like I imagine you have, this is Harry Potter. Okay, so I imagine that you have a longer video of this build, right? So there should be an info card up here linking me to that right now. It's for two reasons. One, for desktop audiences, they might click that link and then watch more of your content. They stay on the platform longer. You get session view time and also more view time and views because they're watching more of your content. That's full of win, and it doesn't take very much time. The other thing is an end screen would be good. Now the trick there is an end screen needs to contain at least one video element. You might struggle to find a space here where you can put a video element. But I'm hoping maybe over here or over here you could fit one, probably more the left, but I'm not sure. I would say play around with it because again, it gives them more things to click, because then when you've got like a video element, you can also get a subscribe button that you put on there. And so you're going to want to put that maybe on the other side or maybe right in this pile of Lego, depending on how that looks. That could be great. And so you're going to want to do that for all your videos. And the good news is you only got 9, so you can go back and you can do these things on those. Maybe you already have and you just didn't bother with the intro. A lot of people are like that. The channel trailer, they kind of don't think of as its own video, but it is. And so let's get those doing well as well when we can. So I think that that's great. Let's see here. And you're loving the comments. It looks like you're replying to all the comments. So you're doing a lot of the little technical things really well already. Which is why I'm like, why are there so few subscribers? This is not okay. Okay, let's take a look here. I already looked at that. I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of the key. Let's see, what is this? Is this going to be a page or hopefully not your personal Facebook? My Brick World. It's nice, yeah. So this is the page. Watch video, you got the like, you got all that stuff there. Cool. That's good. That was what I was hoping to see. You got a Facebook group. Nice. Just a couple of members, but you're just getting started. So, I mean, and I've got a Facebook group for Vacation Impossible, and it's everyone in it is. I have like one true fan in there. And everyone else is people that I know personally and that I think are in the group to humor me. So, but you got to start somewhere and you got to give people those options and lock down those usernames. So it looks like you're doing that well. You got the Twitter up here. That looks great. You got good consistency of image across platforms. Nice use of hashtags here. When you get 100 subscribers, you can get a custom URL. So then you don't have to have this channel UC8QU blah, blah, nonsense, and you can just have Brick World Therapy. Hopefully that one will be available at the time. So that's looking good. Following 2, got 2 followers. That'll grow. Instagram. That Instagram makes great sense. You can put pictures of your builds up. Little video shorts. Beautiful. You're going to take over the world. This is just a matter of time. You can get a Patreon. Oh, no, that's not Patreon. That's Pinterest. I see a P, and no, Pinterest makes way more sense. I am not solid on Pinterest, but this looks like a good layout for me. So, yeah, no. Hopefully that's useful for you. Yeah, it's weird that Channelytics was showing the way that it was. Maybe I'll take a quick look at Social Blade. Maybe it's going to show a little bit better over there. I'm running out of steam on this one because you're already doing so much so well. And, you know, as a result, I mean, if it means anything, if my approval means anything, go shout it from the rooftops. So it looks like Social Blade hasn't known you for very long. Yeah, it's weird. Did you legitimately get 4,000 views today? Because if you did, like, the future starts now, man. That's amazing. Huh. That is... I just want to go back to the YouTube channel. I'm going to do a quick little look here. Subscriber count. I got 4 there, so that's just kind of humming along. And then 2 videos uploaded there, 3 videos uploaded there. So yeah, it's possible. Cool. I'm very much excited to see where this goes because there's nothing but potential here. That's great. Let's see here. Istope also wants a channel review. Hopefully there's time. ETO wants to know how does this work? Yeah, the first I go chronologically in chat as people ask questions or make requests. I do everything I can to answer them. I get well behind in chat because I focus really on answering that question. I ignore the chat while I'm answering it. So I apologize for that. That does happen. It is absolutely a thing. But there we go. Not much more to it than that. It's pretty simple. Jokern TV, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Looks like they want channel review as well. So impressed with Brickworld. I subbed straight away. There you go. That you did go from 32 to 33 because Stupid Robot Fighting League, which is fantastic. Oh, it's Operation Life's wife's channel. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Well, she might crush all of us, and that's awesome. That's great. Maybe I should give us shout-outs. She's rich and famous. Operation Life says Ray's putting out some incredible information. Thank you. That's great. Just got on Reddit. Cool. Oh, yeah, collabs make a lot of sense. Stupid Robot Fighting League and Brickworld makes great sense. I mean, there's some violence about Stupid Robot Fighting League, but assuming that that's not a concern, you know, build the robot out of Lego and then have the Lego smash into each other. That is nothing but potential. And, you know, like, I'd watch the hell out of that. That'd be great. Some people would probably find it very satisfying to watch all those Lego pieces fall down. Man, I want to see that. I would watch that. Looks like they're working on establishing a line of communication there. That's great. All right, let me just get back earlier here and see if there were any other questions or requests earlier in the chat. Please ignore the new Star Wars build, but I don't think the numbers are right. Yeah, okay. Tabby, smash the like button. Please and thanks. Click like if you're finding this useful at all. It does help. Yeah, and again, Mr. Sykes Gaming says, hope everyone is well and safe. Yeah, and in some parts of the continent, that takes on a different meaning over the last few days. Yeah, I answered the consulting question. Yeah, that COPA thing. That is just a game over. No real choice there. But if you do run a channel that has content with children or is directed to children, and you don't, and YouTube has disabled the comments on you, well, there's nothing you can do on platform. You can look at off-platform options. So again, communicating and reaching out with people in Reddit, or creating a Facebook group, or joining a Facebook group, you know, interacting with people on Twitter and other places where you might be able to have conversations surrounding your video there. One thing that I found very effective is when I'm sharing my video in Facebook groups, if it is on the subject that the video is about, because I share in YouTube groups, and that's kind of a shot in the dark. But when you get into your niche, I find very effective sharing the video in a way that asks a question. Have you been here? Have you tried this? Does this look interesting? Do you agree with me? Something. And if it's a question people could in theory answer without watching the video, that may or may not be better. The reason for that is that then people comment and it starts a conversation. And every time they comment, it brings the post up to the top of the group. And that helps because Facebook has an algorithm as well. And so that helps. And the algorithm kind of keeps score and it plays a long game. So it knows that, you know, if you often get a lot of comments on your post and you post something new, it's probably going to show it to more people. It's very similar on Facebook to YouTube in that respect. So that's my suggestion there, is get a conversation going off platform if that's what you're facing. Really vague set of rules. How will the stream go? Like, what topics are we tackling today? Isotope, that's a cool question. You know, I never thought about that. It's like I could have streams on specific topics. I have to admit that I kind of want to do a stream where it's nothing but y'all watching me moderate the group so you see what I go through. But that's probably just more therapy for me than anything that you would probably find useful. So maybe that's not a good idea. Let's see. Does what you do on your channel get expensive? That was a good question for brick therapy. It's like a sense therapy to help bring you out of an anxiety or a panic attack. That's my idea. We'll be doing a video called Brick Break where I will do free form build and talk. That's cool. That's great. I'll fight them for my name. I'm careful when I buy quite a few sets before I started my channel. Brickworld, thanks for explaining to ETO. Yeah, I was doing a channel review at the moment, and yeah, I can ask for one. I think that big jump is a glitch. I don't really know. And it's early days. And, you know, a month from now, maybe, you're going to be looking back at like 4,000 views. Why did I care? I get that. I get all the time now, you'll be saying. Potentially, I think. I think there's a lot of potential here. Let's watch the other ones and you'll get ideas. Yeah, and that's part of it, is I try to take from the specific to the general as much as I can while trying to help specific people. But I think a lot of the things that I say, I could be talking about Lego, but that could just as easily apply to video games or makeup or some other topic. Hopefully. It's cool about the collab. Yeah, you know, I'm using Chrome here and it's still jumping around a bit on me as I'm trying to scroll. Oh, a Stupid Robot Fighting League in chat. I have just designed a desktop fighting system that featured on Make Magazine that uses Lego-based stupid robots. So, like, Stupid Robot Fighting League was already, like, well down that road. This is great timing. My channel had a... this is Isotope speaking. My channel had a rise at some point, then calmed down as I didn't ride the wave. But 2 months ago, I started doing commentary and heavily editing my vids, and was wondering if my lack of activity or my previous lack of activity is going to hurt your channel. Well, and it looks like Stupid Robot Fighting League and Brick World Therapy are connecting, bringing people together. That is so awesome. I can't wait to see that collab. So Isotope, getting to your question, I almost want to reject the premise of the question. Because is it going to hurt your channel? In the sense that it would have already done, but ongoing, like it's you know what it is? It's a missed opportunity, is what it is. So yeah, I mean, it was a missed opportunity, and we've all had them. If we had time machines right now, we'd all be rich and famous. You know, some of us would just go bet on sporting events. You know, see Biff, Back to the Future. Others of us would go and maybe make investments or just do things differently. If I could go back to like 2010. I would be like superstar on YouTube. I would be huge. Knowing what I know now, if I could go back and do it all over again, it would have been, not only would I have done it, it would have been easy and it would have been fun and a blast. But I just didn't know. And that's part of why I do this, is try to get that information out there. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you had a break in consistency, if you hadn't had that break, yeah, you'd be doing better. But ultimately, I don't think it matters. really as to where you're at now. There's something called the sunken cost fallacy. And I won't get into it really because it's complicated. I'm not even sure I fully understand it. It's an economic theory, but basically you need to look at things in the here and now, and you need to make your decisions based on like the cost benefit analysis of the here and now. So what happened before happened. What is it Morpheus says in Matrix Reloaded? What happened happened and couldn't have happened any other way. I say, why is that? He says, because we are still alive. I like that line, even if I don't always grasp it. But so sure, we've all had missed opportunities, or wish we could go back and do things with the knowledge that we have now. But all we can do is move forward. And so if you're asking me, and I think I'm reading between the lines here, but I'm guessing what you're asking is, should I start over? And my answer is no. People often ask, should I start a new channel? You should only start a new channel if you want to do a different niche than what you were doing before, is my general advice in terms of should I start a new channel. People say like, oh, you know, what if your channel's old, the algorithm might not like you. That's completely unproven. Nobody knows that. I've yet to see a white paper that substantiates that in any way. Because I think the algorithm is forward-looking as well, to a certain degree. So I think the only time, if that's the question that you're actually asking, rather than will it hurt my channel, which is kind of a vague question, I think the answer is don't create a new channel unless you want to jump genres. Now, I know I had a second person here who was asking for a channel review. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was this one. I'm assuming that 3 is supposed to be an E, so Joker NTV. I'm hoping it's sketch comedy. I'm fearing it's video games. See what we got. I'm a gaming YouTuber. Okay, video games. Cool. No worries. Just because I see a lot of gamers and I don't see many sketch comedy channels, like practically any. And so I was like, oh, I like something new. But don't worry about it. We can work with you here. And the thing that made me think gaming, the name made me think sketch comedy, but the profile picture with the lightsaber made me think gaming. So I think that your profile picture is effective because it did convey to me an accurate reflection of your channel. So that's a good thing. Your channel name scores a 45. It's a good. So that's fine there. I'm a gaming YouTuber. My channel is about showing some funny or odd moments when I play or full playthroughs. Also, if you wanna. So there's a few things here. I'm going to go like English teacher on you for a moment. And you need to do proper capitalization in order to look professional. If, let's say, they came out with like a new Star Wars mobile game or something, and they were giving away free download codes to influencers to try and get them to do a review, and they come in, they see something like this, they're probably going to move on to someone else. So you want to, kind of future-proof it a little bit. And I think that when we do the little things well, the audience cares, and they're not always conscious of it. What makes a good actor is a broad question. And I think a lot of people can point to actors they like. I like Denzel Washington or Jim Carrey or whoever. But when you say, hey, I like Al Pacino, you might not necessarily easily articulate, as just an audience person, why that is. And so let me tell you some of the things that some of these actors do exceptionally well that maybe you've never noticed. Whenever they go, and this is sort of a dated reference, but whenever they go and they pick up a phone, right? Let's say it was an older style phone, and you have to dial, right? They would pick it up and they would dial 7 to 10 digits, right? And you're like, why does that matter, Ray? That same person picks up the phone, presses 3 things, and just waits. It doesn't feel as real. Because they paid attention to the little things and made the little things as accurate and as perfect and as realistic as possible. Like here, typing on a keyboard, right? I'll show you fake typing. Let me just set this up here. Got my keyboard. Fake typing. Doesn't look real, right? But let's do like some real typing. Did that look a little bit more real? I would think that it did. I still type nonsense. But the difference was I was doing the little things of hitting the space bar, the enter key, and the shift key the second time around. I'm not sure how much of that was in frame. But I think it feels a little bit more real. What does that have to do with acting? If it doesn't look real, if the little things don't look real, and it's not like a joke, then it takes you out of the moment and it distracts you from their performance. They could be giving this great monologue as they're typing, but the typing looks fake and you're just distracted. Or it just feels wrong and you're not even sure why. And so the actors who do the little things well can then focus on the big things. And the little things don't distract you. Now there's an exception. Stephen Colbert, right? Let me see how can I get this in frame? This is how he fake types. And that is a comedy bit that he does, and I enjoy, partly because I'm aware of this little detail thing, right? And so he's making fun of, he's deconstructing those people who fake type. And so he throws an elbow, and it's hilarious, you know. And so like I have some acting training and stuff, and so that's why I'm talking about these things. That's where my background comes from. So I get a big laugh out of it for that. But my mother, who has no experience with that kind of stuff otherwise, just laughs because it's just funny, right? And those things work. And so why am I talking about that is because the little things can matter. So you need an apostrophe between the I and the M for I'm. You want to capitalize the M, it's beginning of a new sentence. You want to capitalize I, because we always do. You want to capitalize A, because it's beginning of a new sentence. And that just, it jumps out at me. It'll jump out at other people too, and it's an easy fix. Doing those little things well shows that you're taking it seriously, you're trying to be professional as possible, and you're respecting the audience that way too. When somebody does, like, when somebody picks up a phone and like, oh, I'll phone someone. It's like, if that wasn't a gag, if that wasn't like Angry Video Game Nerd making a joke or something, if this was legitimately like I'm in a dramatic scene and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm gonna call Sharon and I'm absolutely gonna tell her the truth. I need to tell her how I feel. I'm like, what did you just press? You didn't unlock the phone. You just pressed something in the middle of your phone. Was she on speed dial? Was her face there? What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. And so again, whether you're conscious and picky about that stuff as I am or not, it just feels fake. And it's like another thing, just because I'm talking about acting for whatever reason, but this can be relevant because we're performers often. One of the things that I've noticed is like when people are first acting and trying to say the lines exactly right, and the pacing gets a little William Shatner, that can be an issue because you want it to flow and sound natural and have like a proper cadence of someone just in conversation. And I think one of the things that gets to the way of that is people often don't say contractions because maybe it's not written that way in the script. And so I've noticed that like Saturday Night Live every now and then has this recurring sketch that they do about like a bad school play. And one of the things I always notice, and one of the ways they always sell the fact that it's like an inexperienced performer, is they're like, I am here today to clean the gutters. Whereas a normal person would say, I'm here to clean the gutters, right? And so they're worried about being word perfect and not being not the point of the flow of it. And again, that's being distracted by unimportant things. So I know I harped on that for quite a bit, but I think it touches on a few different things, especially if there are sketch comedy people out there. When are you doing it straight? If you're doing it straight, then you got to do the little details as accurately as possible. And if not, and if it's a gag, then make it funny. So let's dive into the channel here. Oops. Whoa. Oh, Channelytics, go away. I will look at you later. I'm not a geek, I'm a gamer. That's kind of cool. That works. I think that banner's pretty good. Looks like you got Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Something odd about this Twitch link. It looks let me see if this is working. Is that link proper? Or is it malformed? Oh, you're hosting somebody right now. That's funny. Okay, so anyways, it's weird. The logo didn't load for me. And so sometimes when it's not formatted properly, the logo doesn't load. I would play around with the link the way you've entered it onto your About screen down here See if maybe like adding the triple W or something like that will then get the Twitch. Oh no, the Twitch icon loaded there. Fine. Never mind. That was just my browser being stupid. So forget what I was just talking about there. Oh my gosh, Channelytics, and I hate when things move after I start the click, but before it reads the click. That makes me so angry. Okay, this is kind of cool. I like this. It's kind of gradius looking thing, but not, which is great. It's interesting that your channel trailer, or what's serving as your channel trailer, is a 17-minute video that's a Loot Crate unboxing. I got it. I've been meaning to check this for a while. Oh. Well, here, I thought they had run... I wasn't sure they were a thing anymore. I thought they had run into, like, serious financial difficulty. Okay, it looks like they've ended specific sub-crates, but... Oh, they've sold to Money Chest LLC. Operating under the Loot Company. Okay, yeah, no, under Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That's what I thought. The company owed more than $30 million in debt. And $5.87 million in taxes. Well, its credit card processors withheld payments to the company. Well, under Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, it plans to continue to fulfill orders but seek potential buyers. And then later, October of last year, it got bought. Huh. I wonder how they're doing in light of recent issues at the world. Are people wanting more of this maybe because they're stuck at home? Or are more people canceling because maybe they're seeing it as a sort of frivolous thing? An easy expense line item that they can cut. I wonder about that. I wonder about what people are spending their money on now, those that are able to. I suspect that people are investing in themselves, I think. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would turn to in these sorts of times to make sure that I have as many options as possible for the future. Like, I mean, look at the books I'm reading. You know, Start With Why. You Are Awesome. Follow Your Heart. Like, these are things about self-improvement. And, you know, hopefully maybe turning your passion into a profit. And of course, the book's links below. But it's interesting. I wonder if people are spending money on Loot Crate. So I guess the point is here that this feels dated. It is 5 months old. And so for a channel trailer, or something that stands in as a channel trailer, you're going to want something on the shorter side. And do you see a 3.5 hour... Oh, that's a speed run. Long game. 17 minutes. An hour and a half, 10 minutes. So I would suggest creating a proper channel trailer. What you do is you sit down and you think, what are the coolest things that have ever been on my channel? Hopefully, right as I said that, you thought of a couple things. Write them down. Open up Notepad, grab a piece of paper, whatever you need to do. And just because I think I have it here. Yeah, I do. Let's get this up here. So, one of the things I have a branded notepad. Check that out. I don't think it focuses really well. Anyways, that's my logo for Vacation Impossible up there. It says No Vacation is Impossible, the YouTube logo, and then my channel. So, I did a collab with Angela Lynn. She now goes by AL Vlogs, I think is what she's renamed her channel to. And we were doing a scavenger hunt. And so I brought this along with Vacation Impossible branded pen while we were doing the scavenger hunt. I think she was impressed. I'm not sure. I think. So anyways, jot down the coolest things that have ever happened in your channel. 3 to 6 ideas if possible. And then make what's called a sizzle reel of that. Quick shortcuts of that. And I'll just quickly show you what I mean. But once again, plugging my own content because I'm selfish as I volunteer my time to help you folks. Here's my channel trailer. We'll just let this run for a second, assuming it will run. So you're noticing that I'm not holding any shot for more than a couple of seconds for the most part. And it's like, it's visually interesting. It's cutting from different things. There's a shark. There's a waterfall. Somebody swimming. There's some girl. Oh, I'm in the trees. Oh, I'm saving money. And so the idea behind this is that it's really just... I'm trying to point out all the cool stuff and all the great scenes that we see, fun that we have. The voiceover that I have that goes with this is actually, I've written out in text here. And so that, I think, kind of helps in terms of getting this thing views. It's up to 1,300 views now. There's the Coast Guard right at the end there. You might have noticed. Easter egg. Bumblebee, right? Hopefully there's something for everybody at some point. There's Sam at the Grand Canyon doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. We kind of ended on a water theme, I just now realized. But so this is 59 seconds. It's a minute. Shows you a bunch of stuff, and I have a voiceover that hopefully gives you the value proposition for my channel. And it says, a vacation impossible. We believe travel is good and more travel is better. Join us in our adventure so you can see some destinations you may have never considered going to, some out-of-the-way gems, some funny events, some fun activities, and all while saving some money. So hopefully that's exciting and it has a value proposition built into it. Might be a little long now that I'm looking at it, but whatever. It seems to be working well for me. And so if you can do something like that where you get all the best bits and put it into like between 30 and 90 seconds, and then maybe do a nice little voiceover on top of it where you talk about why you do what you do and what they can expect from your channel. And then that will really, I think, serve as a proper channel trailer at that point. And I like this welcome with the thing. Like, if you can keep that, that would be cool. So I think that would be good. Also, as I said, loot boxing, a loot crate unboxing at this point feels a little bit dated. And so my first thought when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, how old is this channel? And when was the last time this was updated? Because Scott the Waz, if you're into gaming stuff, he's very funny. And, you know, I recommend, if you are into gaming, like, feel free to take a look at some of the greats. James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd Cinemassacre, Pat Contry, Pat the NES Punk, Scott the Waz, you know, a couple other people out there. Like, let them inspire you. Don't steal from them, but let them inspire you. If you want to, of course. But you can see some of the things that they do and be like, oh, I get it. I mean, that's one of the things I love about TubeBuddy is it lets you look at all this like secret information for other channels. I can see that you don't have a lot of channel tags here, for example. So, for example, you do a Loot Crate unboxing. Maybe that could be one of your channel tags. It's very competitive and a little dated. I don't think people are searching for it much, but, you know, maybe. How about Jedi Fallen Order? Looks like you got a few lengthy videos about that. You could put that in here as well. Jedi Fallen Order speedrun. That could work. A lot of different things there. I don't know why it says 2 videos. Oh, you put out 2 videos in the last 30 days, right? Still getting used to the new layout for Chanalytics. So, yeah, I think that could be a thing you could do. If you're looking for a microphone, I recommend, there's a $35 Find. I'm using it right now. There's a link in the description if you're curious. In case you need something to record some good voiceover if you don't have something. I find that a lot of gamers, when they get started out, they use the gaming headsets. And that just, like, that picks up a lot of contact noises and doesn't really filter out the pop sounds. And so if you have a microphone that's not like that, like a desk microphone, make sure you also have a pop filter. I'll quickly show you mine. It makes a huge difference. It's one of these guys. It's got like this double mesh thing here. And so this is what I sound like without the pop filter. And then this is what I sound like with the pop filter. I don't know. Let me know in chat if you heard a difference. But let me tell you, when I first started using the Find, it's great because it's got a knob that you can control for how much sound it picks up. So I don't need to use noise reduction like anymore. I just adjust the knob, which is great. And it's got a mute button. My old microphone didn't have that. But it didn't have a pop filter. And so people were like, something's wrong with your audio array. And all I did was just move the pop filter in front of it from my other microphone. And they were like, you fixed it. I was like, well, that was easy. That's a $10 fix. That's awesome. And I've had that for years, and it looks brand new. Like these things, and I travel with it. I record podcasts on location as I travel, and so I've beaten that thing up. It's been in the sand, like it's all over, and it is as good as the day I bought it. $10. So let's see here. Got uploads past live streams. Okay, so live streaming makes sense with the Twitch link. I guess you probably dual stream. Okay, and here's your Jedi Fallen Order speedrun. That's a playlist. So again, I recommend just adding one more line, which is your top videos, which given that you've built this much, I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. I think it's a good idea. When people come to channels, sometimes they want to see, like, what's their best stuff? Now, it is a fallacy to equate views with best. That might be your most popular stuff. And sure, it's wrong. But people want to see it. Give the audience what they want. There's a segment. That is when I first discovered Pat Contry. The first thing I did is I scrolled down to his most viewed things. I watched his NES Rhapsody video and his Retron 5 review and like one other thing, the Alicia Dragoon or something else. One of his like highly viewed videos, and I was like, subscribe. That was how I made my choice. I watched a couple of his top videos. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for this. And then immediately after I clicked subscribe, I spent the next month and change of my life binge watching all of his stuff. But if he hadn't had those top videos out there, I don't know that I would have gone down that rabbit hole. I am now a fairly true fan. I've on and off, depending on financial things on my end, I've been a patron supporter of his. I travel down to Portland every year, Portland Retro Gaming Expo, to to go see him and see his panels. I go to all of his panels. I ask questions. I buy his books. I buy his DVDs. So all of that would not have necessarily happened if he didn't have that top popular views playlist on his homepage. I don't know what universe I would have been in if that hadn't been there. But that was my process. So that's pretty good. You're featuring one other channel. I would consider featuring more if possible. Maybe like the development studio behind Jedi Order or Jedi Fallen Order or something like that. Possibly, if there's not another YouTuber that you collaborate with or that you enjoy or that you maybe look up to. So that's something to think about. Check your playlist here. Okay, you've got refunked speedruns. Any percent refunked. I don't know what refunked means in that I'm not really in the speedrunner community. I know a guy who holds a couple speedrunner things, and I've met like one of the guys that has one of the speedrun, like the top 10 speedruns of Super Mario World when I was doing the Mario Marathon, but I don't know all the terminology. How to write an emotional rap lyric. Huh. CSS Legends. I'm guessing that over the years you've dabbled in different things, and that's fine. Channels evolve in that way. And I'm seeing some playlists that only have one video, which is telling me that you adhere to that thing that every video needs to be in at least one playlist. So that is a good thing. To be clear. Boo Clan songs. So I think trying to decide exactly what you are and focus on that. I mean, from what I'm seeing here, let's see about your recently released videos. Yeah, it looks like it's a real focus on gaming. So if that's what it is, that's cool. And just make sure that, like, I would recommend not straying back out of that. Because if you do start to get inertia and momentum built up in the algorithm, then that could tank it. So I think that that's a good idea, sticking with what you know. What is the most popular stuff you got here kicking around? Thumbnails. Okay, I can kind of see why you might not have a popular uploads list, because it does seem to intermittently be off-brand, but I still think it's not a bad idea to have, because again, it'll be at the very bottom. And it is a set it and forget it one time. Over time, the other things, as they become popular, will claw their way to the top. So, and I personally, I think that's fun to watch. I'm like, oh, what are my popular videos these days? So you've got there. Okay, now I'll look at Channelytics. And oh my gosh, autoplay. Hate autoplay. Even if it gets me views. Okay, nothing too spiky there. Got a subscriber there. Yeah, that's not too descriptive of what's going on. Also, if you want to chat with my either, do it in my comments section or on my Discord. So this is not clickable. If you want Discord, make it a link down here, and then it'll appear up there. After a certain point, I think after 5 links, it won't appear up there, but it'll still be clickable down here. Because right now, what you're basically asking people to do is copy this and then go paste it somewhere else. Whereas if it's just a clickable hyperlink, then you make it easier for people. And let's embrace the fact that our audience is lazy. This isn't a bad thing. It means they're efficient. Let's not make it harder for them. Also, if you want to chat with my either, with me, either do it in the comments section, I'm guessing, is what that's supposed to be. So again, you want to go for readability. And I think you could flush this out, add a couple of paragraphs, one where you talk about the kinds of games you play and the kind of videos you make. And then another paragraph, if you can, about why, book incoming, right there. Why you do what you do is so incredibly important. Simon Sinek always talking about why. And so a previous channel review that I was just doing, their why was around, I think, you know, using Lego to have a journey of recovery from PTSD and managing that. And so a why can get distilled more than that, but it's about, I think, you could distill that why, because ideally your why should be something that doesn't even tell people what it's about, which I know is counterintuitive, but that way it'll apply to anything. And so it sounds like it's like, you know, using creative methods to solve difficult problems. Or you know, something like that, or solve emotional problems, whatever you want to call it, or you know, easily accessible solutions to trauma, something like that. There's a lot of different ways that that could be elevated. I wonder if this is still true. I often like to take a look at, ironically, Facebook on Twitter. They used to have this great description. I don't know if I think they might have changed it. No, this is pretty good. They did change it, but this still works. Our mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. What do they do? If that's all you knew about Facebook, I mean, that could be for a power company. That could be a phone company. That could be like, you know, that could be Sony. That could be, you know, Samsung, AT&T, Twitter. It could be so many different things. It could be American Airlines. Give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. But what's great about something like that is that that's their why. And we can distill it down. What's their why? Build community, bring the world together. That's what it is in a very short bite-sized thing. And so, knowing that that's their why explains some things, doesn't it? At least a little. You might have heard that during the Super Bowl, and I'm not a football guy, but during the Super Bowl, Facebook ran a commercial for their Facebook groups. They've been pushing groups hard. They've actually, I'm in communication with Facebook because they want to support large, highly active, engaged groups. That is a real focus of Facebook's right now. And like small YouTubers Boost, this channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the group. So I think that tells you a little bit about their focus. Build community and bring the world together. And that's pretty awesome. Try and find someone who would be against that. That would be tricky, I think. There's probably a few people, and different people might feel it to different degrees. But then, when you're faced with a difficult question, you go back to your why, and it helps you answer it, and it becomes easy. The hard questions become easy when you focus on your why. Like, for example, I'm struggling in the group a little bit right now. We've got the post-review queue is a little out of control. I'm talking to the moderators, and I'm setting a baseline of activity that they'll need to do to keep their moderator status. I hate having to do it, but I don't have a choice. But I was thinking about, like, how do I solve this problem? Do I just make it so that people can just post whatever they want all the time? Well, then we're going to have a signal-to-noise problem. But am I okay with that? That would have maybe more people in the group, and so, you know, numbers might be more impressive, but that's not what the group is for. That's not the why of the group. The why of the group is to help YouTubers learn, discover each other, to collaborate, and support each other through the, you know, the challenges and the successes. And letting people spam the group like mad would make that harder, not easier. So, well, I can't do that. Clearly, it doesn't align with our why. And so every time I'm faced with a challenge, if I go back and I'm like, wait a minute, the group is there so people can learn. Does this help people learn? Is often what I ask. And so that helps. And so if you can articulate a why, and you're probably thinking, Ray, why are you talking about this? It's a gaming channel. But you're putting time into it. There's a reason for that. I see you're in Sweden. You're in Sweden making these videos. Watching, investing your time in this, you are investing in yourself right this very moment, and that's awesome. And thank you for choosing to do that with me. And if you get any value from it, that's amazing for me. I'm super happy. You know, you could be anywhere in the world right now, and you're spending it with me, and I appreciate that. But you are spending this time, so it means something to you. It matters to you. You're investing time and effort. Why? What makes you get up off your ass to do that? It's got to be something. And so if you can articulate what that something is, there's going to be other people out there who are going to be like, yeah, I'm all about building communities. I'm about making the world a smaller place. I'm about education. I'm about having exciting experiences. I'm about saving money, whatever it is. Now, you might, and I'm speculating because I don't know because there's nothing here, As to a why, some people in our group join because they want to make money quickly and easily, and they think YouTube is the way to do it. Those people are incorrect for the most part, and they're difficult to work with because their why is kind of it sounds a little corrupted. But then you got to peel the layers of the onion away. Maybe they're in poverty, or maybe they say that, but like they're focused on the wrong thing. Because getting an audience, making money, getting your word out there, those are results. Those are outcomes in service of a why. So if I have a message that Lego can be a useful tool in managing your stress, post-traumatic or otherwise, then finding an audience is how I pursue that why. The why is I want to help people overcome trauma. The what of it is through Lego, and the how of it is by making YouTube videos to share with the world. And people identify that. And when you explain it, you want to explain it in that direction. You want to go from the why to the how. Everyone else goes the other way. What do? I'm a YouTuber. All right. I know something about you factually now. Sure. I don't feel connected to you knowing just that you're a YouTuber, really. I mean, I do myself just because I am one and I lead this community. And so there is that sort of initial kind of connection. I'm like, oh, we speak probably some of the same language and probably know some of the same people and things like that. But really, like a run-of-the-mill person, you tell me you're a gamer. That doesn't necessarily tell me much about you. But there's a why behind all of this. If you're investing your time, there's a why in there somewhere. Simon Sinek's books can help you find it. Or maybe just sit and think about it. Watch some of the videos, live streams here. Maybe that'll help. But if you go to somebody and you say, I really care about poor, sick kids. Like, oh, yeah. No, I can identify with that. I get that. Well, what do you do? Oh, well, I do these live events, these live gaming events where we raise money for Child's Play charity. Oh, okay. And I go on Twitter and people come and watch and then they donate and they raise money. I get it. I get your why. I get your how. I get your what and your result. But let's go the other way. Because let's say, okay, I want to tweak it a little bit. All right, I care about sick kids, and so I do that. I support them by raising money for Child's Play charity. And say last year, I haven't done the Mario Marathon in a couple of years, but the last time we did it, we raised like $75,000 or whatever it was. And no, the weekend one was much less. Let's say 20,000. Okay, he cares about sick kids. I flew to Indianapolis to be on this charity event, and we raised $20,000. Okay, I think people get it when I explain it that way. Attack it the other way. What if I explain it this way? What did I do? I raised $20,000 last year. Screw you, buddy. Good for you. What do I care? On your way. All right, braggadocious guy, Wall Street punk, whatever you are. They don't care. Oh, I raised $20,000 playing video games. Okay, that's weird. How did you do that? What? But that's not them being on your side. That's not them being a fan of you. That's them being confused by you, I think. But if it's like, hey, I raised money for children's hospitals all over the world by playing video games, if you can believe it, flew to Indianapolis, raised $20,000. Reaction is so different. And because that's very close to actually, like, I, over the years, have tried to explain the Mario Marathon to people, and I've taken so many different tactics. And when I say I raise money for children's hospitals, they want to know more. If I tell them that I flew to Indianapolis to play video games, I have to force feed them the next piece of information because they just don't give a damn, depending on what their interests are. If they were from Indianapolis, maybe they'd care. If they're a hardcore gamer and they love every kind of game, maybe they'd care. And so if it comes from the why, then there's broad appeal. And sometimes there's not broad appeal. Sometimes it's a niche appeal. But you know what? The connection you form is going to be deeper and longer lasting, and that's when you get the true fans. And that's where they're going to stick around. That's when they're going to subscribe. That's when they're going to watch all your content. That's when they're going to buy your book or whatever else you're selling. So I think that applies to a lot of different kinds of channels. Hopefully some of that's useful. You get caught up on chat here. Got a little preachy, a little ranty, but it's what I do. Let's see here. It's so cool that you're helping people out with this. Thank you. That's great. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is fun for me. This is my therapy. I'm not big on Lego, but I'm big on, I don't know, ranting about things I care about on the internet. So I'm super blessed by the fact that there's a handful of you folks that don't mind watching and giving me prompts in chat, so I have things to talk about. Couldn't do it without you. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here just probably moderating the group and complaining. You've grown a few subs by being in the Small YouTubers Boost group. That's awesome. You read between the lines with starting over. Cell 5. Nailed it. Starting over with the algorithm. I knew it. Yeah. So again, only start a new channel if you want to do a drastically different genre than what you're doing. Otherwise, stick with it. I think that people see, like, here, I see that this channel that I was just reviewing was created in 2007. I suspect that it was probably created as just so that they could like subscribe, view, and comment to videos. That's when I initially created my channel. It was 2 years before I uploaded anything. I joined in 2006. My first upload is 2008. It's easy to find that out. Go by oldest, 11 years ago. So this person has been uploading gaming videos for 11 years. Now, like me, because I've been on the platform about that time, a little bit longer, but not by much. Yeah, I've been uploading travel videos that long, but when did I start taking it seriously? Fall of 2016, I think. Shortly before joining Small YouTubers Boost. And so, that kind of thing, you're OG YouTube. You knew, like, you probably know what, like, reply girls are, and you probably remember Hot for Words, and you probably, those are two not great examples, and you probably remember, I don't know, just, like, the old school stuff. I'm struggling to think of a good example, because there's a lot of stuff I know that I don't like, and there's some things that I just can't mention because they're unperformable now, but there's so many, the Star Wars kid, whatever. And so you probably remember when, they forced us to get the G+ thing just so we could comment and all this other, like, and so I think having that is not a bad thing. I think it gives you some street cred, a little credibility. And I think people like seeing where people started and how they got to where they are. Particularly if it's someone who's maybe they look up to you. You find some measure of success or just an audience that appreciates you, and maybe they're like, yeah, I'd like to be like this person in some way. Maybe, like, I used to joke, I wanted to be the Pat Contry of travel. Because I really looked up to him. I really appreciate what he does. I don't want to do his content. I don't want to do the gaming comedy thing. I'm happy to participate in other people's. I'm a guest star on the Mario Marathon. I do not organize the Mario Marathon. That's where I'm at. But I like going back and watching his old content to see how it developed and to understand. Go back and watch, if you love PewDiePie or Mr. Beast or whoever, even Roberto Blake, go watch their first video, their oldest video, because people compare themselves to people where they're at now. And I think it's great to go back and look to see kind of some of that evolution and where it started. And true fans of people will do that. They'll go back and they'll be like, oh my God, Ray had hair. If you go back in when the first video I uploaded was actually, I think, the second video I shot for travel. Something went haywire with the first one. I did a low res upload years later, but it's called Hell's Gate. Yeah, there was somebody not too long ago. I think it was Stupid Robot Fighting League or someone. They went back and they watched that old video and they had commented and they were like, "Oh my God, Ray had hair." And that's great. And it's touching for me that they would go back and look at that. But all that content is still out there and performing for you. So I wouldn't shut down the channel. You might want to trim the channel like a bonsai tree a little bit. Very strategic. You don't necessarily want to go crazy. The approach that I took for trimming my channel over the years, because I realized I had put up some videos that were not on brand and that were kind of going contrary to the algorithm. One example is I used to work at an amusement park. and I was one of their big hiring people, right? And so the news came and they did like a little interview. And my mom recorded that, and I had the VHS. And then years later, I got a Dazzle, and I'm like, I was on the news. I'm going to put that on my channel. That was cool. And now later, years later, I realize I don't have the rights to that news broadcast. I might be in it, but that doesn't mean I have the rights to that whole broadcast. That was like a poison pill on my channel. I'm like, I could get copyright strike for that, in theory. So that was the first thing I had to cut. I knew, because that was a poison pill risk to my channel. But you know, you go and you look at Social Blade, for example, which is sometimes how the world sees you, and as I think we've demonstrated in this live stream and the previous one, not always accurate. But it is possible, and I never had it for a full month. Before they put this stuff down here behind a paywall, you could see how many views people got per day, going all the way back through history. And there was a day where I had negative 1,000 views because there was some audit or whatever, and it just determined that it took those views away from me. And that didn't look great. So I'm not that upset, at least in that regard, that's not as easily found nowadays, because then you got to explain it to people. But if you were to go and delete a bunch of videos or private a bunch of videos, it would look like a negative on your view count because you lose those views. So when I went to go delete that news report, I waited, and I was like, that news report had like 65 views on it, which for my channel, not a lot. But I waited until I was getting like 500 views a day, where losing 65 views on that day would not look bad on Social Blade and not negatively impact my channel that way. And that's when I went and deleted it. And so I trimmed the fat a couple other places. We had a Rogue One movie review because, I don't know. It was a collaboration with the Sci-Fi Movie Podcast, and it shouldn't have been on my channel. And so, again, see how many views there are. Am I comfortable with losing those views? Is this truly, like, so counterintuitive to my channel that it might be confusing the algorithm? And then wait until my view rate was enough that if that went away, it wouldn't really impact things. And so that's when I went and cut it. So you can trim your channel, but I say, like, bonsai, judiciously, carefully, well-timed, deliberately. Not sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to delete all of my rap videos because I'm a gamer now. Even though maybe some of those have the highest view counts on my channel, that's fine. I want to move forward. That's great. But then it might look like if, say, overall on a month, a negative view count, then one day you might be wanting to collaborate with somebody, and they're going to come to your Social Blade, and they're going to see a negative view count some month, and they're like, wait a minute, was this guy buying views and got caught? What is this? Because on the surface, there's not a lot of information here. Some of the stuff is good, but I caution people against using Social Blade to jump to conclusions, because it's very easy to get it wrong if you don't have all the information. It happened to me not too long ago. There was a person that was causing some static in the group, and there was some questions about whether or not what their channel was legitimate, and they had several months of negative, although they had different months of negative view counts. And so I made the assumption that they were doing some dodgy stuff, partly because other things they were doing was dodgy. So it went with what I was seeing. It was in line with their other behavior. And I ended up talking to them, and they said, oh, that's when I deleted that big video. Or that's when I lost, or that video got taken down because of a copyright claim. Or I changed the direction of my channel. I deleted my old song covers in that month. And so, in the absence of genuine information, people generally tend towards their fears, and they get so creative with their fears, or negativity, or accusations, or anger. And so, I really want to caution people when they're going to Social Blade to try to think the best and not the worst. But that having been said, if you want to see how you present to the world, that is a thing to maybe be conscious of, because not everyone's going to put that thought in or make that effort. They're just going to see a negative view count month and be like, whoa, don't trust you. Next. It's possible. So, not saying it's right, but it's what it is. Probably not going to start over. How do we get a review? Do we just drop our channels? No, you say, I want a review. So I'm thinking Jay Allo wants a review, and I've got a good half hour left, so let's do it. It's just that easy. Here, the Small YouTubers Boost. In my radio voice, which the people who are on my channel with me absolutely hate. They're like, it's so fake, Ray, just talk. But it's fun to do voices. My voice gets boring for me. Okay, Jay Allo, 140 subscribers, 87 videos. Looking at the profile picture, I first noticed Ghostface from the Scream movies, which makes me think you're a horror movie reviewer. But then looking at the other two characters, they look like they're from video games. And then looking back at Ghostface, that doesn't look like him from the movies. I imagine they made a video game with him in it or two. J. Allo is cut off. It looks like Ayalo or Ayalek. So I'm thinking, an assumption, but again, this is me with fresh eyes, like an audience, a random person. And when we're making our profile picture and we're making our thumbnails, remember your audience is strangers. It's not really your core, your subscribers or your fans. They're probably going to watch based on things like the subject and the fact that it's you. I like, who unsubscribes from someone because they changed their profile picture? I don't think I want to meet that person. Unless they changed it to like something super offensive. That would be crazy. So what I'm seeing here, my assumption is I'm like, this is a profile picture from before when YouTube made all the profiles circles. So it hasn't been updated in a while. Is this a dead channel? These are some of my initial thoughts. And again, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's what someone might think, stumbling across this knowing nothing about you. Or it's like this person put up a profile picture and doesn't understand how that YouTube thing works. These are negative assumptions and make me less likely to click and less likely to watch. So these are things if you can combat, so much the better. And I have to ask, what's the value of putting your name in the profile picture, especially when it's cut off like it is? Your name doesn't really tell people what you're about unless your channel is just about you because you're so awesome. And there's a lot of channels like that out there. I don't think that's what this is, judging by the fact that there are fictional characters here. So it's probably just about them. It's probably video games. Might be horror. Maybe you make horror films yourself, short films. Maybe you review horror movies. Or you play, I suspect most likely you play horror games. That's what I think this is. So if you took J. Allo out and threw in, it's a little trite, controller, easy way to get the message across. Or something else, maybe a If you also did retro games, maybe like an 8-bit kind of stabby sword with blood on it or something. I don't know. Or you could just take it out and have a little bit of white space. Maybe move the characters up just a little bit so there's not crazy headroom. I think those would all look better. They'd look more professional. And again, if you include the controller, conveys more information. Because your name tells me nothing about your channel. And so I don't think incorporating it into your profile picture is of benefit to you or to your audience, and therefore not to me. Okay, so we've got the cardinal sin of small YouTubers here. And again, I apologize if this sounds harsh, but me just saying nice things about you is not going to help you get better. You're going to get better because I'm going to say something critical, or I'm going to show you how someone might see it who isn't you. So you can then tailor things to that stranger. And so you're committing the cardinal sin of YouTube descriptions. I'm going to like create a sign one day that I'll just hold up. I'll be like the Roadrunner or something. Yikes! Or something. Maybe I'll make like an animation with PlaceIt and just play it in the live stream. Balloons will go up or something. But not to harp on it too much. But welcome to my YouTube channel. One more time. Please, for the love of God, YouTubers, stop saying this. I beg of you. Like, just, I want to, like, could I go back in time to the first person who said it? No, because no one knows the first person who said, welcome to my YouTube channel. It adds no value. Like, I'm trying to find a different way of saying this because I've addressed this issue so many times. But it's almost like, are you expecting someone to come along and be like, oh, welcome to my YouTube channel? I'm on YouTube? This is awesome. Or what was it Homer Simpson said? Oh, they've got the internet on computers now. People are on YouTube. They know it's YouTube. They know what it is. You don't have to say YouTube. Nobody's searching YouTube on YouTube. And if they are, they're not going to find your channel. They'll probably find something about the YouTube platform. So this is not helping you with SEO. It's not helping you with searchability. Now, that having been said, yes, it is nice as in the hospitality space to welcome people. In my Facebook group, I welcome people every 1,000 members. It's a ritual. I remind myself to do it. It's an opportunity for people to ask questions of me and to, if they're going to break the rules, maybe they'll do it there so I can take care of them before they bother you on your post. So it's a little bit of a lightning rod for that. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll approve 1,000 people in a batch. well, not in a batch, but I'll very rapidly review, a little over 1,000 member applications. I'll reject a few and accept most of them. And then I will put that post up, and then they'll see that post. And so if they're a bad actor, we can catch them quickly. That's what that is. But it's also to create an atmosphere of being welcome and that they hopefully feel comfortable asking questions. And so it's great to welcome people. I don't think that your channel description is the place to do it. If you're searching for, I don't know, maybe you want information about, Die Hard, the movie, and you Google it, and all you see in the preview is "Welcome to my Die Hard page." Well, is that going to have pictures, sound clips, quotes, the script maybe? Is it just going to be like some GeoCities site with like dancing animations from like 1998? What am I looking at here? I don't know. And so, yes, it's just nice to welcome people. Don't do it in your channel description. I apologize if that was too harsh, but you're not the only person watching. And so this is like a PSA for all the other people watching. And if there's like 5 other people watching this live stream, you're like, I have that. Then this served its purpose because it's not helping you. So take that out. Welcome to my YouTube channel featuring predominantly video game gameplay for the popular horror game Dead by Daylight. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. The latter half of this is lovely and fantastic. We just got to lose that beginning so people can get to the point faster. People are lazy and they don't read. They don't read much. They don't read long. So featuring predominantly video game gameplay. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's a little awkwardly phrased for the popular horror game. Just be like, cut out everything before gameplay. What if that just began gameplay for the popular horror game Dead by Daylight? And then go from there. What do you do differently about it? Are you funny? Do you think you're funny? Do you exploit glitches? Do you point out design flaws? Do you cover the development of the game? What makes you unique about it? And you can do that, and not necessarily, like, there's not a lot of space, so you can do it as a tease. So it could be gameplay for the popular horror game Dead by Daylight. We do a deep dive into the history, ... Maybe that's where it cuts you off. Or we show you the fastest way to ... Well, I'm curious about the history of that game. I'm not speaking as me, but I'm saying, like, let's say there's someone out there who's a big fan of the game. I love that game. I'd love to know more. Or maybe there's someone who's struggling with that game, and they're like, well, if this guy can do it fast, then if I watch him, maybe I can figure out how to get past this level. And maybe I won't have to watch a really long video to see how it's done. If it's a speedrun, that's good work. Hopefully I won't have to ... exploit. I don't know. So that's my thought. Cut out everything before gameplay, and then add something that gets a little more specific with a bit of a tease. And don't type in the ... yourself. The results will truncate. We have that on the previous channel I was looking at, and also if you look down here, it does truncate your descriptions on these videos at a certain point. It's about 100 characters, give or take. So let that do its part on its own, but that's sort of the description there. Let's dive in. Go away, Chanalytics. I got a yappy dog once you click on it. Okay. So we've got a few things going on here with the banner. It looks really good. You got your name in there with a nice font, unique look. Keep that. That looks great. You got the characters there. They all look sharp. That's awesome. It's a little weird how it cuts off Ghostface's left hand. So if you could expand the image, it may cut it off on different devices, but let the device do that rather than doing it yourself. It looks like you had a picture that wasn't yours, that didn't go all the way, that was made for a specific website or something that you copied and pasted. Hopefully that's not the case. So if it's something where you actually have the assets, just don't do that cropping. Make the image hold the whole space. That would look better if possible. If not, if you don't have the source of it, if you don't have his hand, then that's fine. You can leave that part the way it is. Videos uploaded daily. Oh, really? Let's see. Is it true? That's pretty true. Okay. Well, there goes that criticism. I'm not a fan of advertising. 3 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago. What I should be seeing is 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So it's not really strictly videos uploaded daily, is it? Actually. So don't say it. And this is my personal thing. Some people don't agree with me. Some people think it's great to publish your upload schedule. I don't think so. People get sick. People get amazing opportunities. They go for job interviews. They go on vacation. And so they're not always able to keep with their upload schedule, despite the best of intentions. And then we come to the second cardinal sin of small YouTubers sometimes, and I'm not saying you do this, I hope you don't, where they begin their videos with apologizing for when they uploaded it. Skip. Next. I didn't click on apology video. I clicked on Super Mario Speedrun. Why are you apologizing that you uploaded this on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday 5 years ago? What the hell? I'm going somewhere else. So I recommend that you don't publish an upload schedule, and here's the strategic reason. If people know you upload every day, why do they need to have notifications turned on? And I walk the walk here, partly because my life is partly chaotic, and I can't commit to an upload schedule. So that's just the way that it is. But I say in my videos, and I'll say it right now and I'll mean it, please subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. We start these live streams with very little notice, and the earlier you join us in chat, the better chance you get a channel review like this one. That's the value proposition. That's a reason. And that reason, that doesn't have jack to do with me, really. You're not doing me a favor by doing that. Not the way I explained it, although please do, and you would be. But that's not what I'm asking for. I'm not asking. I'm giving you advice. Hey, here's a thing you can totally have. Here's how you can go get that thing you'll want. I happen to be the person who delivers it at the end. I happen to get a little benefit out of it, yes. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, all those people who message me and people who post in the group, and they're just sub me. It's not even a sentence. Not even English. It's barely English. It's you mean subscribe to my channel? How about a whole sentence? Can you give me a whole sentence when you want my time for nothing? I get a little ranty there, but whatever. You're here to watch. That I think is part of it. It's even if you do upload daily, even if you were consistent with that, I would doff my cap to that work ethic because I know that's hard. I tried it once for a month. When they brought in the last change in monetization rules, I put out a video every day for 30 days trying to make it. I made it in watch time, but I was nowhere near it in subscribers because it was before I had discovered TubeBuddy. That was in January. The following August, I found TubeBuddy. I met the subscriber requirements in October and got monetized in December. That was my journey. For my primary channel, Vacation Impossible. But I didn't tell people I was doing that. I told my friends and family because I was you're not going to see me for a month. And when you do, I'm going to look dead because that was a slog. That was hard. So you can have an upload schedule. I recommend keeping it to yourself so that when you're not putting that extra pressure on your shoulders to keep up to this. It's arbitrary. The world's not going to end if you don't keep to it. And adding a little bit of mystery for your audience gives them a reason to have notifications turned on and a reason to subscribe. I like James and Mike Mondays on Cinemassacre. I haven't watched it in a while, but I enjoy it. Sometimes I get the best snap of my life watching them. I'll nod off, which is kind of weird, but I still enjoy that. And when it's really interesting, I'll be really engaged, and I'll enjoy watching too. And all of that's great. I don't need notifications turned on. I know when Monday is. So I don't. I am subscribed to Cinemassacre because I want to support them. I don't have notifications turned on. I get notifications all the time. Blink, blink, bloody blink all the time. I don't need more. But if I didn't know when they were uploading, and maybe I wanted to catch it early, I love Roberto Blake. I'm subscribed to him with notifications on. One of the reasons for that is that I actually I like engaging with him. So when he posts a video, if I comment early with a question or a thought, high degree of likelihood he'll reply. But if I come to it 3 days late, sometimes hit or miss. So that's my reason. My reason for having notifications on has almost nothing to do with him. It's about something that I want. It's something I get out of it. And so if you put it that way, then it's about them. When it's about them, that's when they're more likely to take action. They will much more easily and rapidly and often do the selfish thing than the selfless thing. And that's just how people are. It's not a bad thing. Let's capitalize on that knowledge. So what have we got here? DBD, gameplay, funny moments, and tutorials. Cool. If you remove videos uploaded daily, then you could use that second line to put the gameplay, funny moments, and tutorials where that upload schedule is, and then instead of DBD, you could spell out Dead by Daylight. From your point of view, this is what your channel is all about. DBD is your thing. That acronym makes sense to you, and that's fine. But for outsiders, they might not know what that is right away. They might even know of the game. I am aware of the game. For the love of God, I think I did some voiceover for a channel about that game a couple of times, I think. He sent me a script. I just had fun reading it. I never played the game. I sent him the audio, and he put it up with his video. So I think my voice is in some videos on this game subject out there on the YouTube somewhere. All I asked for was a link in the description to my channel. Otherwise, it was just fun for me to do. So I have that tangential involvement, and let's say that prompted curiosity on my part. But if I see DVD, that even though I'm aware of the game, that's not going to mean anything to me. I am a giant Star Trek nerd. Like, you will not believe. When I am done, I'm going to have some pizza and watch a second season episode of Discovery for probably the 8th time. Probably closer to 10. On my Blu-ray. Discovery Season 2 is lovely. I'm so excited about Strange New Worlds. And also Season 3 Discovery and Season 2 of Picard and Lower Decks and the Nickelodeon comedy show. And I could go on. But I try to tailor my language to my audience. Because Star Trek is, it's globally well known by a lot of people, but not all the acronyms are. And so if I were to say to you, hey, after this, I'm going to watch an episode of TNG. There's a good percentage of you, they're going to be like, he means Star Trek The Next Generation. Cool. There's going to be another percentage of you who are like, what the hell is he talking about and why should I give a damn? And so that is an argument against acronyms, basically. And so take out the upload schedule, move gameplay, funny moments, and tutorials down to the second line, and then spell out the full name of the game. That's what I think my personal recommendation for the banner is. On the right, you have a click here to subscribe. You've got that sub confirmation link, which that's okay, but there's a subscribe button right here. It feels redundant. If you're on any other social media platform, I recommend you put that there instead. Now, that having been said, this is just a white gradient backspace, a gray gradient. So it's not like it's covering anything or distracting from anything. It is another opportunity to subscribe. So I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Don't get me wrong. It feels a little redundant, but I'm picky. That's me. That's not most people. But if you're on Twitter, Twitch, what have you, if you've got a Facebook page, not your personal Facebook, but a page or a group, whatever, you can link those things there if you would like. Flesh that out a little bit more. Going on here, we have popular uploads as a vertical playlist, which is an interesting choice. And so, I'd be curious how that's working for you. You might want to look at your channel traffic sources. And then you've got uploads and then how-to guides, which is great. Various killers, which makes sense because obviously there's killers in the game. So that's kind of cool. I love your thumbnail game is solid. Like you're not covering anything with the time code, so it's all easily readable. You've got a consistent style and look. These thumbnails are fantastic. Don't change your thumbnails; they're beautiful. So that's good. Your thumbnail game is on point. I would consider making this a horizontal row because right now when I come to your channel I got 3 videos I could click on before I scroll, and remember, people are lazy and we need to capitalize on their laziness. But if this was a horizontal playlist, I would have 5 or 6 videos in this playlist. The next playlist would probably also be visible, so I would have all these videos, and you've got This thumbnail here is not consistent with the others so much. It's still a good thumbnail. Don't get me wrong. It's a great thumbnail. But when I see this layout here, this impresses me. Seeing this horizontally in consistency with this look. And the way that you're using the different colors. And that the font all pops, even though some of these fonts really don't normally pop. This is great. And you're hiding it. Unintentionally, I'm sure. But let's get that higher up so people have more opportunities to click on your videos. And frankly, like, flex your thumbnail game a little, because it's solid and it's good. You got my respect there. And I did, on the previous channel review, I talked about having a channel trailer and how to make that. So everything I said there applies here. I won't repeat myself again because it's getting a little bit towards that dinner that I want to have. I want my pizza and my Discovery. So I won't dive into that, but I do recommend that. So you can go back and watch that part if you joined us a little bit later. Channelytics. Yeah, you've got a lot of variants here with your channel tags for SEO. That's pretty good. So I'd say you're doing fairly well here. I've got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to focus on chat now. So we're officially closing channel reviews today. This is not your last kick at the can. I'm doing 5 straight days of live streams. This is day 2, so we've got 3 more days. Today's Friday. I'm going to be doing this again on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But again, I can't predict the time. I suspect tomorrow will be later in the day than today was because I've got that consultation. But again, subscribe with notifications. You get the notification. You can join us early, and then you can get your channel review or whatever your request is. Also, we are on Twitter, and I do tweet about this, and I do mention it in the group as an announcement. But notifications on on YouTube is probably the most reliable way, because sometimes I forget to tweet. I would say, yeah, either YouTube with notifications or Twitter with notifications. Either one of those should probably work. Everything else can be hit or miss. I have to update the description soon since I mostly do speedrunning content at the moment. That makes good sense. Animation moves. Just ask for the channel review. He gets your channel name from your name in chat. That I do. Brickworld, you're awesome. Did I try modding you the other day and I don't think it took? Was that what happened? Okay, thanks. If you can do a review, it'd be much appreciated. Cool. Loving the stream so far. Thanks. I hope me trashing your channel doesn't change your mind. It's, like I said, there's a lot that you've got going here that's really solid, particularly those thumbnails. Super solid. Andy George says, hello, friends. I think that's a new face. That's exciting. Oh, my chat is scrolling on its own. See, it doesn't matter what browser I use. Chat just does that, I think. Slim Jim Longfoot says, yo, Ray. Yo, Slim Jim. Let's see here. I'm using a Blue Yeti. Yeah, I'm currently using my Fine, but I started off with the Blue Snowball. And the Blue Snowball is still nice, but I have to do noise reduction on that afterwards, which adds an additional step. It's hard to tell which gets a better sound sometimes. I think the Snowball probably gets a slightly richer sound, but it's a lot more work behind it, and I need to streamline my workflow because I just don't have enough time to do anything. Love the groups. I made one. I assume you're talking about Lego groups. That's awesome. Speaking of changing genre, as I said, most of my videos were pack openings in one particular mobile game, but the thing with that game is that there's sort of a sub cap, no matter how good the content is. Oh, you mean the audience is of a certain size and it's not really growing, I'm guessing. There just aren't a lot of people seeing this, so I thought I should start playing other games on the channel, and I did, and of course they get much less views than my pack opening vids. And that can be a challenge. Sometimes it takes a while to build momentum, find your audience and where they are. If you can find them where they are, if they're on Reddit or Twitter or wherever, that's a big help. Again, they're lazy, so go to them if you can. Does it negatively affect my channel to have videos that get 300 to 600 views and then other videos that get less than 50 views? Yes, that's true. And in fact, that is a sin that I am guilty of. But the thing is, we can't always predict what's going to blow up. But over time, I think I've gotten pretty good at predicting what videos of mine are going to tank. And I do have videos that tank. Because you can look at some of my view counts here. 45. 19, that hurts. 22, 38. 314, a little better. 641, okay. And so I know on my channel, Vacation Impossible, I do a video about cruises. I get a lot of views. Maybe not lately, but, when the world's normal. But I do a video about a road trip or Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I'm lucky to get 35 views on those. And you can see that holds up. I make a short, quick tip video. 29 views. I am used to getting... Actually, I've recently changed my layout because of what's going on right now. So I'm showing all of my non-cruising, not so much traveler. There's that scavenger hunt video with Angela Lynn, by the way. So I try to make a playlist of all of our funny videos and stuff like that. But I'm used to getting, here, 92,000 views, 61,000 views, 28,000 views, 26,000 views, 25,000 views. And I'm not flexing there because I showed you that I'm in the 30s on a lot of these as well. And so that's a choice you want to make. Is it all about the success and the numbers, or is it a service you're rendering, or like an artistic goal or purpose that you're chasing? So I made a video telling people not to pack towels. And so when I am in a Facebook group about travel or a subreddit and someone's asking about towels, should I pack towels? They're going on their first ever trip. To experienced travelers, it seems like a stupid question, but to them, it's new. And so I want to be able to answer to the experienced and the inexperienced alike. And so I have this video that I can use to respond to them. And also I can drop that video, that 2-minute video on them, instead of typing out a paragraph that's going to take me 5 minutes of typing. Saves time for me, and I think it's better service for them. Because then they can watch it. I hold up the towels and I demonstrate, you know, what a pool towel, how it's different from a room towel and why you don't need to pack either, and things like that. And so some of this stuff I've made because it's going to be helpful to specific people, and I can use it to answer questions. And so those, they are a slow burn. I mean, it would be generous to call them evergreen. And they are. I mean, year-round, don't pack towels. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. If you're traveling, if you're flying somewhere, going to a hotel, don't pack a towel. Doesn't make sense. But some of those take a really long time to go. And you also can't predict necessarily what's going to last over the lifetime of your channel. Speaking of which, here we have my Lemonade soda review. In its first 3 years of existence, it got like 35 views. And then somewhere along the line, it started getting attention. And you'll see now it's at 3,500 views. So it's difficult to know because it could take years to find its audience sometimes. I often say that YouTube is a little bit like trying to win the lottery. And every time you put up a video, it's like buying a ticket. But what's different about YouTube versus the lottery is they're constantly calling numbers and your ticket is always valid. And so you don't know when your ticket's going to come up. So if it's a choice you make. Because yes, I do notice that when I put up a road trip video, views across my channel go down. So as a strategic, if I was all about the numbers and making money and I wanted to get in front of an audience and that's what matters most to me, then I would not do road trip videos ever again. But I love road trips and I think I've gotten pretty good at it. And I want to share some of those tips with people. And I have fun going on those trips and filming with my friend. And so I pay the price in views. But every now and then one of those will perform. And when it does, that's great. Because then my passion's working. Isotope asked for a review first. Well, then, hopefully 3 more days left. Plenty of time, hopefully I can get to you. How can we grow a gaming channel? I just reviewed 2 gaming channels back-to-back, so hopefully that covered some stuff there. We found out yesterday that sometimes the requests don't get through. I asked twice yesterday. Yeah, and I feel bad about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did read it, and I didn't get to it. I apologize, but... these live streams also will be rewatchable. Within 20 to 40 minutes after the live stream, you can go back and rewatch it. And just, you know, kind of hover your mouse over the timeline, and maybe you can see if your channel pops up, then you can find it easier. Laughing hard at that, Ray. Okay, cool. I'm not sure what part you were laughing at, but that hopefully means you're laughing with me, not at me. And honestly, either way, hey, you're laughing, and that's a good thing. It's good exercise, and we need more laughter right about now. Stupid robot and brick is connecting. That's great. It sounded good at the time, but then what you're saying now, I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Why am I welcoming people? Cool. I'm glad you took that the way it was intended. Can't tag anyone on my phone. Yeah, tagging people on Facebook is problematic, especially when your group is like reaching nearly 250,000 people. Like every word is possibly a name, so that gets problematic. That's going to be crazy. Like, should I do something for 250,000? I like normally do the special live stream every 100,000, but 250,000 feels like it might be an important number. I don't know. I'm in a cafe eating a pie. Cool. For that reason, I can't hear Ray, but I'm here for the social event. Ray's party hands in the air. I'll be your monkey for a couple of minutes. Nerdy, nothing wrong with being a nerd or a geek. That is true. Nerdcore rules. I love the beard. This beard mafia is growing. This beard mob, whatever you are. Team Beard. I'm going to miss it tomorrow, but you can always rewatch it. ETO, again, on a future live stream, be happy to do it. And also, if I don't get to people during these live streams and they want to do something privately, contact me. That will be a paid thing, but I can see about doing a consultation or doing a review of something specifically focused to your channel. If you don't happen to kind of chance upon a free one during the live stream, that is an option. You did try to mod me. I got ridiculously excited about it. Let me try it again. Maybe that will add moderator. Maybe this time it'll work. It says now moderator for your channel. Cool. Hopefully it worked this time. I think that is the difference between Internet Explorer and Chrome, is that actually, like, you should now be modded, hopefully. Snacks in the beard. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go in that direction. Thank you for doing this. Okay, it looks like I'm relatively caught up. Being mature is overrated. I appreciate that, especially when I make, like, inappropriate jokes on my Patreon. Okay, so anyways, thank you guys so much. And as I like to do, because I am Vacation Impossible. Hey, there you go. Yeah, you got your mod status. Nice. Team Beard Unite. Dear God. The Internet Avengers are going to, like, make me grow a ZZ Top beard, and then Stupid Robot Fighting League will be very happy. Anyways, whatever works, I guess. Doing it for the, well, not the gram so much. I mean, I do post a little on Instagram. Not so much with the beard, but, you know. You can follow me on Instagram. I run 3 accounts. The Small YouTubers Boost account, Vacation Impossible. I'm also known as Cowman. So feel free. You can follow me there if you like. And get beard pictures if that's your jam. Don't get jam in your beard. It's sticky and uncomfortable. So, since I am Vacation Impossible, one of the things that I try to do is end all of these live streams with a mission for you. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to go and take a look at your channel with a critical eye, exactly as it is here. Go to it, whether it's on your browser, your phone, your game console, whatever you use to watch YouTube. Go to your channel and look at everything there with a critical eye. Am I putting my best foot forward? Are these my best videos? What do people have to scroll to click on? And what is immediately prepared? Am I making my channel as easy for lazy people to enjoy as possible? And then if the answer is no, or you can think of a better way, click that customize channel and make the changes that you need to so that lazy people are happy and at home on your channel, because then they're lazy. They're not going to want to leave. They're going to stay there. And you're going to get the views and the watch time, the comments, the likes, subscribes, and all the other good stuff. So that is your mission if you choose to accept it. This live stream will self-destruct, and by that I mean it will end. You can still rewatch it later, but this live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second.